It's pretty well known that when it comes to Minecraft builds, it's the small details that give a lot of life to the build. Details such as vents, pipes, windows, all of those details. Well, I figured today I'm going to share 10 small building details that give life to my cyberpunk populace that I've been working on for a couple of months now. At number 10, we have these human remains with the redstone dust and the skeleton head. Ironically enough, this gives a lot of life to the build, even though it's obviously not really alive. And most importantly, it tells a story because it makes you wonder what could have possibly have happened over here to have caused this mess. That's what gives a lot of life to the build. At number 9, we have these air conditioners right over here. What stands out about these is that they look very humanized in this build. This build in general looks pretty abandoned in some places, but with these vents and other details like such, it looks like it's maintained, it looks like there are actual inhabitants here, and most importantly, it just looks like these air conditioners were constructed for a reason. They have a purpose behind them. It gives a lot of life to the build that way. Admittedly, these are pretty wide. I don't think they're usually that wide, and I don't think they're usually this color, but I just thought that these bookshelves look really well as like air conditioners on the outside of the windows. At number 8, we have this neon sign right here next to this pretty dark wall. So this wall over here is kind of where the apartments are, or some of the apartments. You can tell this is where the people live because of these like previously mentioned air conditioners and the windows. But what stands out is that it doesn't have much light, but with this neon sign it does have light. And it gives it life because it looks like it's maintained, it looks like somebody, at least someone, cares about this place. And who knows what the point of this sign could be. Could basically be just nothing, could be an advertisement. But regardless, it still gives a lot of life to the build. At number 7, we have this ginormous vent over here. So it's pretty big here. You can imagine this is how tall a person is just walking around. It's pretty big. What's special about it is its size because that's what gives importance to the vent. This vent looks like it was constructed for a reason, a very good reason to help improve the lives of the people here. Therefore, giving life to the build. At number 6, we have these really boring old rusty pipes. What's about them is that they simply look functionable. They give some kind of functionality to the build. Even though they're obviously not actually functionable, they look like they were constructed for a very good reason. Because all of buildings have pipes in them, of course. So this is what makes them meaningful, and therefore it makes it give life to the entire build. Even though it's such a small detail, it gives a lot of life. You can imagine how these connect the apartments with maybe the sewage underground. It makes you wonder. At number 5, we have this sign over here. So in the story of this populace, their purpose is to give direction to the people that live here in a very familiar and human way. That's what makes them special, is their importance and significance to the people. And so that's how they provide a lot of life. Even though it's basically just text, it provides a lot of life because it shows that this place is run by people. At number 4, we have these pipes that are excreting waste, as well as this one. So when you look at this, you can clearly tell that these pipes are excreting waste, different kinds of waste. Like over here, these waterlogged leaves, it looks like messy water. Or this, and even this, it looks like just pure waste. Even though these are not actually functionable, it's clear what their intended use is, and it's very functionable, so that's what gives it life. At number 3, we have these thick railings over here. So these look very strong. They look like they're very well supported, they look very strong, they look like they're difficult to destroy. About this is that it expresses a sense of protection for the people here. Protection to not fall off the edge, of course. But that just shows that these were clearly placed here for a reason in the story of this populace. And that's how it gives a lot of life to the build. At number 2 are these security cameras. While they're a bit bulky, I think their intended use is very clear. Once again, it's security. So, yet again, another piece of life in this build. So this is interesting. At number 1, we have this sort of like caged off vent. That could mean that it's a sense of caution for the people that work here. Maybe these vents are very dangerous. Maybe they suck in a lot of air very quickly and are therefore dangerous for things to get in the way. It displays risk in this build, so expresses life in the build. Okay, so that was 10 instances of life in this build that I'm working on. I think these all give a lot of life to the build with 30 for watching, and I'm gonna see you all later. Goodbye.